The other thing we talk about here is just plain information dissemination. Oftentimes there's thought leadership pieces that are out there. So white paper downloads, for example. If you're in a B2B space and you know exactly how many engineers need to download your white paper before they get one sales rep on the phone, and then we know how many sales reps it takes to close one deal, and we know how much a deal is worth, well, we can do the back math and figure out exactly how much a download was worth. And it may not be something that we rest the financial future of our company on, but it helps to give us an idea that every time someone downloads a white paper, it is valuable, it's worth something, and it's truly a business objective. We've also got things like ad serving. So if you work with clients who make their money by serving ads, so people who are publishing content, they may not have a subscription model in place, and instead what they'll do is serve ads through networks like AdSense or other networks, and they'll make their money based on how many times they can impress an ad. Now this is wonderful. We start to see things like articles that are broken up into 4 or 5 different pages. And it's probably not done that way so that it's easier for the reader. It's done that way so that you have to load 4 different pages. And of course, in doing that, you load 4 times as many ads. But there's a point at which it's too much. If an article is broken down 1 sentence at a time and you had to refresh or click to the next page 55 times in an article, that's too much. Well, we as agencies can identify that business objective, and we can start to put together programs that help to optimize that experience. There's a whole lot we can do that we can tie back to these business objectives along the way. We talk about things like social. Social is a brand new medium for a lot of businesses. They're not really sure how to use it. They don't really understand what it's all about, but we can assign value to a lot of these things. So it's worth something when someone follows you on Twitter, or when someone circles you in Google+, or when someone likes you on Facebook. All of these things can be tracked, and they can be indicators to larger business objectives. Once you have a positive social following, you can tie this back to brand objectives. You can even tie it back to direct response campaigns when you start to use these social networks as lists that you mail out with specials, promotions, features, and things like that. So some of these can start to feed other objectives. For example, if you sent out a piece of content to a Google Plus circle, and then you could track the number of leads that generated, suddenly you have used one business objective as a proxy for the other. It's a really amazing thing how when we start tracking all these things and tying them back to the business objectives, our customers get very, very involved in this and very excited about the opportunities. We look at things like support. It's not always just about making money. So when we see something like a tech support place on a website, this is a great opportunity for you to save some money. We've seen some of our clients that will update an FAQ section of their website, or they'll place online training videos for the things that their call centers are getting the most calls about. And what they'll be able to do is reduce the number of calls. And by reducing the number of calls, you reduce the cost of having to service all of those calls. So again, we can start to track how many people actually looked at the questions and answers session, or the frequently asked questions section around this particular item and didn't pick up the phone and call. That can be represented as cost savings.